ஓகே, நான் இப்போது நெக்ஸ்ட் செக்மெண்ட் போகலான்னு சொன்னேன். ஆனால் எனக்கு ஒரு சின்ன டவுட். நிச்சயமாகவே உங்களுக்கு அட்ஜெக்டிவ் என்ன ஒரு சென்டென்ஸில் என்ன உங்களுக்கு பாயிண்ட் அவுட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு முடியுமா? Will you be able to point out an adjective in a sentence? I had my little doubt, and now I'm going to give you some sentences and you're going to pick out the adjectives from that. Okay, let's see whether you let us complete this segment first by checking whether you have understood the concept and also whether you are able to identify the adjective in a sentence. Okay, I shall give you some sentences. Let's see whether you are able to point out the adjective and tell me what degree of comparison it is. The poor woman was much happier in the new environment. Okay, in the sentence என்ன அர்த்தம்? The poor woman was much happier in the new environment. அந்த ஏழை பெண்மணி முந்தைய விட இப்போது மிகுந்த சந்தோஷமாக இருந்தால். இந்த புதிய என்வாயன்மெண்ட் மீன்ஸ் சூழ்நிலையில், ஓகே, சுற்றுச்சூழலில் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக முந்தைய விட சந்தோஷமாக இருந்தார். Okay, now tell me which is the adjective in this sentence. The poor woman is a noun. Poor is also an adjective. It describes the woman. Was much happier in the new environment. Okay, now happier, I'm sure you know happy, happier, happiest we just saw in our tabular column. Now tell me, poor, poorer, poorest, happier, happy, happier, happiest. Now you have identified two adjectives in this sentence. Now poor, what degree of comparison is it? Positive or comparative or superlative? What is it? Okay, poor, poorer, poorest. So it is positive, positive degree. Was much happier, happier, happy, happier, happiest. So what degree of comparison is it? Comparative, comparative, because it is comparing, E-R, I-E-R. How did we change happier, happy into happier? We cut the Y and we added I-E-R. Okay, next sentence I am going to, pen is mightier than the sword. We always see this quote or quotation, pen is mightier. Okay, you know what the meaning of pen is. Pen na pena நம்ம பிடிச்சி எழுதுறது நோட் புக்லலாம். மைட்டியர், மைட்டியர்னா இதை விட அது சோடு. முதல்ல என்னன்னு பார்க்கலாம். வாட் இஸ் அ சோட்? சோடுனா கத்தி. ஓகே, இந்த போர்க்கத்தி, அதை வச்சு சண்டையெல்லாம் போடுறாங்களே அந்த காலத்தில். இந்த காலம் சோடு வச்சுலாம் சண்டை போடுறதில்ல. அன்லெஸ் நம்ம சினிமாலெல்லாம் பார்க்குறோம், பெரிய அரிவாள் வச்சு ஒருத்தர் வெட்டுறது. அந்த மாதிரி அரிவாள் இல்லை, சோடுன்றது வந்து போர்க்கத்தி. ஓகே, த பென் இஸ் மைட்டியர், இதை விட அது சிறந்தது. எது? பென்னு வந்து போர்க்கத்தியை விட சிறந்தது. அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? பெண்ணு ஒரு சின்ன பெண்ணு, இது போய் ஒரு பெரிய போர்க்கத்தினா 4 பேரை போட்டு தள்ளுறாங்கல்ல, அந்த மாதிரி நீங்கள் யோசிக்கலாம். ஓகே, எப்படி கத்தியை விட பெண்ணு எப்படி மிகுந்த சிறந்தது அப்படின்ட்டு. எப்படின்னா இப்போ கத்தியால் சண்டை போடுறதை விட காந்திஜி என்ன சொல்லி கொடுத்தாரு? அஹிம்சைன்னு. கத்தியால் போய் 4 பேரை சாவடிக்கிறத விட, இன்ஸ்டெட் ஆஃப் கில்லிங் பீப்புள் யூ கேன் ரைட், பென் எடுத்து you can write more petitions. You can write to the government, you can write petitions to the government, or you can write to your to a person who is giving you trouble. So with the pen you can do mightier, that is greater things than the sword. Okay, so which is adjective here? Pen and sword are nouns. Okay, which is the adjective here? Mightier. Okay, which degree of comparison does it come under? Mightier. It is comparative degree. Okay, okay, now we'll see another. Dairy milk chocolates are the best of all chocolates. There are many chocolates in town. They have Amul chocolates, they have so many other very rare names, and every day we come across so many chocolates. But dairy milk chocolates have their own taste, isn't it? That too, dairy milk silk chocolates. Okay, dairy milk chocolates are the best of all. Which is the adjective here? I taught you irregular comparison. So which is the adjective here? Best. Okay. Now what are the other 2 degrees of best? This is the superlative degree, best. So which are the other 2 degrees? Good, better, best. Okay. So are you sure of it now? Good, better, best. Dairy milk chocolates are good. They are better than the other chocolates. Dairy milk chocolates are the best of all chocolates. So that is a superlative degree. Okay, shall we go through some more sentences? I am not going to explain. You are going to underline all the adjectives and write them, and we will check the answers. Okay. This is an exercise for you, just to check whether you have understood the concept. Okay. Exercise. Let's see how many marks you get in this. Okay. I am going to give you a star if you do well. Okay, let us see whether you get a star in your lessons. Okay. First one, they cut the fattest lamb for Ramzan. Or I think even Bakri Eid is actually cutting a lamb for offering. Okay, do you know the reason behind it? Bakra Eid is Bakri. Bakra means goat. Okay, they cut the fattest goat, I will say. See, I have to tell you more about Bakrid just because I am using a word, an adjective here. It is said that Ibrahim, his son Isaac, he got that son after many years, probably in his 90th year, and then God one day spoke to him and he said, you give me your son as an offering. உன்னுடைய மகனை எனக்கு ஆஃபரிங், அதாவது என் மகனை எனக்கு கொடுத்துரு, பலி கொடுத்துரு அப்படின்னு சொன்னோன்னே he was very first he was very sad, but then he took his son to give him as a sacrifice. At that time God made another goat appear there before the son was cut. That's why they say Bakra Eid. Okay, so they cut the fat. Now so for Bakra Eid or Bakri, they always the family gets together, they cut a fat goat and they have biryani together. Okay, now they cut the fattest goat for Bakrid. Okay, which is adjective here, you find out. Next sentence. Ravi is shorter than money. Some more sentences. No news is good news. Nowadays that's what we find. If you open the newspaper, all that we find is so many people were murdered, so many people were cheated, some scam, or so many people died in an accident. So no news is good news these days. Actually it's an axiom which was used earlier, but we find it very common now. Okay, I will give you 5 sentences. If any of you get 5 on 5, I will give you a big star. The children were cleverer than their parents. Nowadays children are very clever. They were cleverer than their parents. Okay. The company received some bad report about the okay. Now underline the adjectives. Okay, they cut the fattest goat for Bakrid. Ravi is shorter than money. No news is good news. The children were cleverer than their parents. The company received some bad report about the clock. Now read, take down the sentences and find out which is the adjective. Have you finished? Check it up. Let's check it up now. I'll see how many of you have got full marks and I'm going to give you a star. Okay. They cut. Cut is a verb, it's an action word. Goat is a noun. Bakrid is a name of a festival. So, noun is a naming word. Now, adjective is a word which describes. Now, this word describes a goat. Fattest, what sort of a goat? Fattest goat. Okay. Now, which degree of comparison is it? Now, I am going to first we are going to underline. So, 1 mark each for finding out the adjective, and then you have to tell me what degree of comparison it belongs to. இப்போ நம்ம adjectivesல degrees of comparison படித்தோம். இல்லை என்ன degree of comparison நீங்கள் இப்போது அது மேலே P or C or S எழுத போகிறீங்க. Okay, okay, next one. Ravi is shorter than Mani, which is the adjective shorter. No news is good news. Good is the adjective. Tick it up if you have written correctly. The children were cleverer than their parents. Okay. குழந்தைகள் அந்த குழந்தைகள் பெற்றோர்களை விட ரொம்ப புத்திசாலியாக இருந்தாங்க. The company received some bad report about the clerk. Yes, the company received some bad report about the clerk. Received. I'm sorry, always after C you have to use E. R-E-C-E-I-V-E-D. Please remember, always after C, like decide, receive, all this you have to use E. Okay. The children were cleverer than their parents. The company received some bad report. Okay. Now let's see what degree of comparison they are. Okay. Fattest is superlative, shorter is comparative, good is positive, cleverer is comparative, and bad is positive. If you've got everything correct, you get a good. Please write a good over there and put a star. Okay. I'm sure all of you are superstars. All of you have got 10 marks. எல்லாம் கரெக்டாக வாங்கியிருக்கீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Very good. Keep it up.